some are calling it the end of an era for the city of Freeport, as a man who has dedicated decades to its development has passed away, and his death comes as Freeport's economy continues to struggle. This native of Great Britain was a part of that pioneer spirit that marked the early days of Freeport, and he devoted his life to promoting Freeport and, by extension, Grand Bahama as a modern city and a place for business. Tonight, Natalie Martinborough tells us about the life of former honorary chairman of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Sir Jack Hayward.
Sir Jack Hayward was an English businessman, property developer and philanthropist who was born in Wolverhampton in Britain on June 14, 1923. During the Second World War in 1941, he joined the Royal Air Force and received flight training in Florida. He served as a pilot officer in the Royal Air Force Command in India, and in 1946 he was demobilized as a flight lieutenant. Sir Jack's father, Sir Charles Hayward, moved to the Bahamas during the early 1950s and became the first partner of Freeport's founder, Wallace Groves. Sir Jack followed him to the Bahamas in 1956 and soon became the vice president of the Grand Bahama Port Authority. In 1976, along with the late Edward St. George, Sir Jack took over the management of the Grand Bahama Port Authority group of companies. In August 1978, Sir Jack and the late Edward St. George bought all of the founders' shares and subsequently bought out all the other shareholders as well. Together, Sir Jack and his former business partner, the late Edward St. George, worked together to promote and develop Freeport. In 1998, a school was dedicated in honor of Sir Jack. For him, the Jack Hayward High School was a great source of pride, and he was happy to be the school's patron. In 2006, 2 years after the death of his business partner, co-chair Edward St. George, Sir Jack waged a legal battle over the ownership of the Grand Bahama Port Authority. After tens of millions of dollars in legal fees, the 4-year legal battle came to an end in July 2010, as all parties signed a consent order ending all litigation. Sir Jack Hayward was a man known for his wit. He was very outspoken and often controversial. In his latter years, he said his greatest project was his idea of a bridge to connect East Grand Bahama to North Abaco, but over time the campaign for the bridge lost momentum. Sir Jack is also considered a football legend, as he owned the Wolves Football Club in London for 17 years before selling it in 2007. Sir Jack was a noted philanthropist, serving as honorary chairman of the Salvation Army's Advisory Board, patron of the Grand Bahama Humane Society, and a lifetime member of the Bahamas National Trust. Sir Jack Hayward launched the YMCA in Freeport and was involved in the running of the Sir Charles Hayward Library that's named after his father. Sir Jack was also the founding member of the Freeport Players Guild. Sir Jack passed away in Florida on Tuesday at the age of 91. Natalie Martinborough, ZNS Network News.
Now, officials of the Grand Bahama Port Authority issued a statement late this afternoon confirming the death of honorary chairman Sir Jack Hayward. Officials say Freeport has lost the last of its original founding fathers and a great philanthropist. Sir Jack passed away today in hospital in Plantation, Florida, after courageously battling an illness for several months. Sarah St. George, vice chairman of the Grand Bahama Port Authority and group of companies, says Sir Jack is a cornerstone in Freeport's living history. A truly unique man with an epic life. She says she was privileged to work side by side with him and experience firsthand his determination, bravery, passion, and humor. In honor of Sir Jack Hayward, the Port Authority flag will be flown at half-mast, and a service to commemorate Sir Jack's life will be held in Freeport at a date to be determined. This year marks the 60th anniversary of the signing of the Hawksbill Creek Agreement, which saw Freeport emerge from a pine barren to the thriving city it is today.